In this section, we are going to see how to handle missing values. So you can see here, we have a few things that we will use. First of all, we want to detect or count the null per column. How do we count it? You run this function. You can decide to drop the missing values, or you can decide to fill it using a specific method. You can fill it using mean, median, or whatever you choose. And now if you have duplicates, for example, a student appearing twice on your list, you can drop the duplicates. And you can do some replacement. You have interpolation, where you can interpolate the missing values. This is just some of the methods you can use to deal with your missing values or duplicate values. So let's do it. Let me come and add something. So initially we had said if you use df copy df info, you can see what's there. However, given that we are now changing things in the data set, let's just make a copy of it. It's a good idea to generally make a copy so that you do not corrupt your original data set. So I'll just say df, or I'll call it df2. No, let me give an appropriate name. df copy equals df. I won't call it copy. I'll call it df. Yeah, let me say copy. It really doesn't matter the name you give. df.copy is the name of the function we are going to use in order to make a copy of it. Okay, once I do that, it means now we will be working with the df clean. That will be what we will work with. I'll just say info, and I will run it with Control Shift. What's going on here? Okay, it's not clean. Copy. Okay, now if you take a look, you can see where you have missing values. If anywhere you see it's not 891, you know you have missing values. You have it here, you have it there, and so on and so forth. Okay, now we will start with the first one, which is the df. Remember, we will be using df copy. I know there will be times I will forget, but that's what we will do. Actually, to make life easy for myself, I won't say df copy, I'll just say df2. I don't like typing all of those things. This is to make my life easier. I'll just run it. df2, fine. Now I'll do df2 is null sum. So is null is looking for wherever you have null values. Sum is add all the null values. So here we go. df2 is null, and then we chain the next function so that it can sum it. Basically, you can even just get rid of this, run it, and see how it goes. Shift enter. Now this is not much information to you. So fails means there's no missing value. Blah blah blah. True means I'm missing. So when you put sum, it's now going to tell you. It tells you here there's no missing. Here you have missing values, and you knew that already here. No missing values. H, you have missing values. 177, here 688, and so on and so forth. So now you can see where you have your missing value. Here you have just too many missing values. I'm not even sure it's even useful to use this. Now, how do you want to replace the missing values? You can use mean, median. We are just going to use median. We will choose to use median as an example here. For example, for age, we will use the median age. Each one you have to deal with uniquely. So let's see how to deal with this. So I will compute the median age. Let's say median age. I want to compute the median age. How do I go doing that? I'll say df2 and I will go and subset H. I think we have already seen how to subset those things. So you are saying target H and then give me the median of that H. So it simply means come to this. You are saying come here, target this, and then calculate the median based on this column. So you are subsetting that and then you are targeting it. That's just what you are basically doing. And if we decide to print that value, we can see what it is. So if I say print and I say median age, then when it computes it, it's going to tell me. So the median age is 28. It means I can use that value to fill in whatever I want. So I'll now say df2. I'll go to H. So that's what we've chosen. Then I'll fill the NA. Wherever we have an NA, I want to fill that NA. And what do I want to fill it with? I want to fill it with the median age that I've chosen. And then I will say in place, I'll say true. It means change it fundamentally. And once we do that, we can now investigate if really if it has done the change. So I can do that by doing again the df2, and I say is null dot sum. Then we can see. So you can see, for example, for H now, there's no null value. So now we will continue. We now want to deal with the embark. So the embark, we know we are dealing with. So if you look at the data type, you will see that it's not numerical, it's an object. So you cannot calculate the mean. So the mean or the median. So what you need to do is maybe to use the mode. The mode is the score with the highest frequency. In other words, the category that appears the most often. So when you look at the different categories, which one appears the most often? So let's do something similar. We will break it down like this and do exactly the same thing. So I'll say mode embark. We could say mode embark down. It really doesn't matter. So we have df2 embark down, and then we want to compute the mode. Now I'll just show you something before I run that code. Let me create something else here. I'll just copy this and paste it here and run it. You can see this is Southampton or whatever you people call it in the UK. So this is the mode. So once we run that, so we could do that, and when we print it, so we have mode embark. So if we run that, that's what we have. So let me cancel this thing. Let me delete that. So now we can go and replace it. We can do something similar to what we did here. Okay. So in this case, we are saying df2, and we are saying embark down, and under embark down, just like we did here, we want to fill it. So we will do fill NA, then we will say So we will say fill NA, and under fill NA, now we have to say embark. So take a look here. We'll put embark, then we'll use in place. Actually, it's mode embark, then we'll do in place. True. True means should I, so in place just means should I change everything that is in that data set? Yes, given that we are using df2. Then let's check df2.info to see if it has happened. So embark town 889. So what's going on? Let's see. Info. So basically I could say is null and then some embark down. We still have issues. So I'll tell you what is likely the problem. So the issue is here you have this appearing and you have that appearing, but you want to tell it please stick just with the first thing appearing. So generally what you want to do, you want to say keep it as the first one. Okay, I want to take this first one, not the second one. Please just stick to that. That's what you want. So if we run this, we will see what will be inside, because you don't want your mode embark to have all of this. You just want it to have Southampton. That's all what you want. All these other things you don't want. That's why when you run it, it's trying to put all of this inside. You don't want that. So let's run that, shift enter. Now you see you have just that. So that when it goes to replace, it can replace it exactly with that value. So let's now run it. And if you take a look now, you can see that the embark, everything is solved. So at times, some of those mistakes are to show you the potential challenges you may face if you don't take it into account. Now, the next one we want to deal with, you see, this is just too much. You have too many missing values here on that deck. So we will just drop that completely and we will use the drop that we have here. So if you take a look at the things we have here, we will just drop the whole thing, not just drop NA, we'll just drop the whole NA, the whole thing. So let's come. So even all the things you have there, you don't necessarily use all, you use the one that you really need. So here we go, df2 dot drop. Okay. Now, before you use it, you need to determine what you have to drop. So here we go. We are saying that we want to drop the deck. And generally, you need to open your thing. And once you do that, you will say you want to drop columns. And what columns do you want? Actually, I think I'll leave it like this. And inside the drop, I will specify how I go about. Inside the drop, I will specify that I want to drop the deck. And once I've specified it, I'll say apply it to everything. In place equals to true. And once we've done that, we can check to see if that was dropped. So we have df2 dot is null so we should actually not find any deck. So here we go. The only thing we have now is the embarked. Okay, so here basically we should embark down mode and back. So we'll do something similar. So basically we should have called this mode and back down. Really doesn't matter. So we'll do something similar for this one. So here we go. We'll say mode. I'll just call it M. It means TF2. M back. Now it's not M back down. It's M back that we want to compute the mode. And of course we want to choose the first one. So you can actually print it to see. It's always good to check to make sure it has done what you want. So it's just one value. You can try it without this and you'll see what happens. That's why. So we are taking time to do this so that you really understand what we are doing. And then now we will replace it with the right thing. So here we go, df2. And back. And now we'll use the fill NA. Mode M. In place. True. df2 to verify it's null. So, and here we go. You can see you have no missing value. It means your data set is good to go. Now, another thing you want to check about duplicates, because you may not have missing value, but you can have duplicates. So generally, this is the part that takes the most time as a data analyst, cleaning your data and making sure you have the right data set before any analysis. It takes 80% of your time. The other part is the easiest part. So I'm going to do some rapid work with the survive column just so you can see something. df2 survived. Value counts. So here we go, we have 0, 1. Now when you run statistical analysis, you know 0 means that they did not survive, 1 means they survive. But if you are running it, the computer thinks it can start doing computations on this. So you really want to change this. In certain circumstances, this is really good. But in the case, in what we want to do, we are not trying to do some complex things. We want to have yes and no here. That will be very helpful and ease analysis at the moment. But for some complex computations we will see in future, this is the best way to do it. So let's see how to replace that value. So we will say df2 and we want to use the replace. So this is a case where you see us practically using some of those things. We will survive. And here we want to throw in some of those things. We have 0. No. I will explain in a few seconds. And then we have the case of 1. Yes. In place, true. And then we can take a look at df2. Survived. Hit. to see that column. Let's run it, then I will explain. Okay, here you can see what happened. You have this you had 0, 1, 0, 1s. So now we've decided to replace it with yes, no. Did they survive? Yes. Did they not? Did they die? Well, did they survive? No. Did they survive? Yes. How do we do that? You use the replace, but inside you come here and you say, okay, for this particular column, I want to map these values. And you say, whenever you see 0, put no. Whenever you see 1, put it. And you can see we use this in order to, so this is the key value. Key value. We create this key value pair in there, and we run in place true to say, yes, change it in the data set. And that's what we have. So if we run the same thing, if we say df, because df is the original data set, if we just run that in df, you will see how it is, because df is the data set we've not changed. So let me get rid of the 2. If we just run that, you see what it is. Now, this is the changed data set. Let me get rid of this. You can see how it looks. This is more intuitive for understanding. But as I said, for certain statistical computations, it's okay, you don't change it. But for what we are doing right now, it's good to be like that. And in the process, you learn how to go in and replace things. So if we run at things now, it looks pretty nice for us to move to the next stage. So in the next video, we are going to look at something different.